This next young lady is a dear friend, and she's gonna be giving you some ideas, right, on how she's I think the number one fastest growing person in her team or within her company, and she's going to share with you some of the secrets and insights that have helped her do that. How many of you would like to be the fastest growing person in your company? Okay? Well, that's what she's going to share with you, how she did that and how you can go emulate those things that helped her to do the same thing. So give a big GoPro welcome to your friend of mine, Miss Tina Joy Carroll.
We're here. Thank you. Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone doing out there? So when Eric asked me to train, I was in my bedroom cleaning up some stuff, and he said he just wanted me to teach you guys about what's working now for me. And so I was in my drawer, and I want to show you something. I found my GoPro badge from 2016, where I'd spent $300 for me and $300 for my husband to come to GoPro to sit in the back of the room. You see, I'd been in business in network marketing since February of that year, but I wasn't making any money yet. I was spending more each month on my products than I was earning in my business. I certainly, logically, didn't think I had any business spending $600 to come to an event in Las Vegas, plus flights, plus room, plus food. We just simply didn't have that kind of extra money. But what I did know was I knew I couldn't afford not to be in that room. And so it hit me when I found this in that drawer. I'm really just still doing the same things I've been doing since 2016 when I joined this profession. And so I'm going to walk you through that. But first, you, especially those of you that are at home right now, you've got to make a decision. And that decision can't be, I'm going to do this for 30 days, or I'm going to do this for 60 days, or I'm going to do this for 90 days. All I knew was I was going to do it until it worked, until I figured it out. And it was going to be messy. And I'm going to show you what that looked like with some slides here in a minute. But I had to show up as the unskilled, 100-pound overweight girl with a dream long before I could trade this general admission ticket for the speaker and panelist one. I made a decision in that room in 2016 when Eric and Marina Worry had no idea who Tina Joy Carroll was, that they would know my name, that I would speak on this stage. And then everything I have done since that day led here. And anything that didn't look like me getting here, I did not do. Does that make sense? Are you following me? All right, so let's talk about that girl. Let's talk about that girl. Some of you, especially some of you at home, and I want you to be honest with me, let me know in the chat, some of you are waiting to get perfect before you begin. What I've been doing that works is I show up right now, not ready. It'll be messy, and we'll figure it out as we go, okay? That is my entire journey. I also understood, okay? Follow me here, if you will, for a moment, okay? I was 100 pounds overweight selling health and wellness. Some of you are waiting until you lose the weight, until the product kicks in. You guys, you got to show up right now where you are if you ever want to get to the after picture. The first picture you see, I still got to be on stage and speak. because I was taking people on the journey. That's what I've been doing since day one. I used to be so painfully terrified to be on social media that I would wear my sunglasses because I was for sure they made me invisible. They were magic sunglasses. If I put those on and I went live in my car, it hid every insecurity that I had about even showing up. But I had to show up as her. Look at that. I had one view. That was my husband, you guys. I have documents on him. He has to show up. Right? 2 comments. But then I kept going, even when it didn't look like it was going to work. I kept taking action, even when people made fun of me. You better develop some thick skin if you want to be on social media building a business. I've been called everything you can imagine on social media. Sometimes it makes me laugh. Not too long ago, somebody said, her face doesn't move. And I said, that's the point. That's what I paid for. Praise the Lord, I got my money's worth. But in order to get here, let's talk about this for a moment. I screenshot this yesterday. This isn't what has been. This is now. And a year ago, I knew I had to get uncomfortable again. And if you think there's ever going to be a time in your business where you're done getting uncomfortable, you're wrong. I had to get uncomfortable again. And I knew I had to start producing content in the form of reels. And it was ugly, and it was messy, just like when I first started those live videos on Facebook. But I just kept going. And I decided to commit to Tina. What could Tina do every single day and show up and do without fail until it worked? I made a decision in October of last year. I only had 5,000 followers on Instagram. I had not cracked the code on Instagram yet. I don't know why. I just don't know why. Nobody was following. No, I wasn't getting sales there. I wasn't getting leads there. I wasn't recruiting there. All of my business primarily was coming from Facebook. But I knew there was this huge market on Instagram. And somebody said, you're going to have to do reels. And so I did. I decided 3 reels a day. They were going to fall in 3 categories. They were either going to entertain, inspire, or educate. And I didn't get caught up in the world of what's my niche? Which hashtag should I use? I was just going to put content out. That's what I was going to do. That's what I could do. And I wasn't going to get caught up in, oh my God, that one didn't get very many views. Oh, this one, no. I was just going to keep doing it and build the muscle. It's just like the first picture you've seen of me. I didn't lose 100 pounds in a month. I lost the 100 pounds one day at a time, one right meal at a time, one visit to the gym at a time. And this is the same thing in the business. I just carried those disciplines and carried those habits over into my business. And so as you can see, in 1 year, my Instagram went from 5,000 followers to yesterday it hit 37,000 followers. And now most of my leads, most of my recruiting, and most of my customers come from Instagram. Why? Not because I'm the best at it. There are probably a lot of you sitting in this room or watching online that's a lot better than me online, but you won't show up consistently. I will outwork you. I don't have to be more talented than you. I don't. I just have to show up consistently. And as a matter of fact, it's my imperfections that make me relatable. It's me showing up messy that gives the girl like Tina Joy Carroll in 2016 that was sitting in the back of the room hope that she can do it too. So I went from that, all of those things you see there, to, like Eric said, the top producing team in my company across the board every month, all year long. Why? Because I just showed my team how. I led by example. I didn't step back and say, you guys go do the work. I'll collect the checks. I got in the trenches with them. I showed them what it was like to be messy again and start over again and doing reels. I showed them the steps, and I'm gonna show you today in a very short amount of time what I do each and every day that has created the personal success I have. But personal success means nothing if you're not taking people on this journey with you, and that is why we're in network marketing, right? I can't be those things if I'm not duplicating, right? I can't do any of those things. So what did I do? And what do I teach? You gotta be authentic. Some of you wanna paint this picture, this version of you that no one can relate to. You guys, I'm sharing the good, I'm sharing the bad, and I'm sharing the ugly. Because a friend of mine told me once, I'm most equipped to help the person I used to be, and if I'm always changing, then that's always changing. Are you hearing me here? And the only way I can help other people is by just being authentic. Most of the time when people come over to my socials, I don't look like this. I'm in my uniform, which is yoga pants, a sweatshirt, a bun on top of my head, and no makeup on. I'm telling them the hard-fought battles that I'm walking through. I'm telling them that success isn't easy. Why? Because I want them to know when they do join me that it isn't easy, but it's worth it. I don't know any other profession that would take a girl like me, a high school dropout, a teenage mom. I nearly drank myself to death in 2009, 2010, went to jail twice. I was homeless, carless, jobless, and lost the respect of everyone who loved me. And says, we'll make her a millionaire. You find me another profession that can do that. You gotta show up consistently. Some of you will go and then you'll stop. Except you think you're just starting from where you stopped, and you aren't. You're going backwards every time you stop. I don't have the luxury of going backwards. There is no trust fund. There is nobody coming to save me and our family. I have to keep showing up consistently, and so do you. You got to show up consistently in your self-development. Congratulations, pat yourself on the back for being in this room and for being on this Zoom. You've got to show up consistently on your social media. I'm always so amazed when somebody tells me, it's not working. And I go over to the profile, I'm like, you're not in business. There's nothing there. It is evident when you go to my socials that I am in business. And I want to help you be in business, and I want to help you get healthy too. Can you say that about your socials? And then you got to understand that this thing that we do isn't about you arriving. It's about you constantly walking back across the bridge and grabbing the hand of someone else and saying, are you ready? I know you're terrified. I know you don't believe you're worthy. I know you don't believe you're good enough, but if you'll just hold my hand, I promise you we'll get across this together. I promise you we will do this together if you will just trust me and do what I tell you to do. And then we go, cross the bridge together. And then what do? We look back and we see who else is ready to come. And then before you know it, you have an army of people that are doing the same thing. All we're ever really doing is going back to get the person we were when we started and helping them get to where we are. Right? Make sure that you send a message to the person that got you into network marketing and thank them. Thank them for coming to get you. I can't even imagine. Do you know the girl that recruited me into network marketing? I was the only person she ever recruited. Some of you are waiting for somebody to show up in your inbox like Tina Joy Carroll. Go get her. She followed up with me for 18 months. I told her no. I was like, I'm not doing it, and I don't think you should either. It's weird. For 18 months. So here are a few strategies that really helped me just understand social media and how to show up better on there so that I could get more people into the business and as customers, okay? So number one, stories. Those are a way people get to know me. That's where I'm showing my 5 grandkids. That's where I'm talking about the funny conversations that my husband and I have. That's where I'm sharing product testimonials. That's where I'm sharing business testimonials. That's where I'm sharing all the events of this weekend and just they're really getting a glimpse into the Tina Joy Carroll show. And there's never a day, ever, that those stories go silent. Why? Because when they do, that means I'm closed. Does Amazon close? No. I'm not gonna close my business. Number 2, Reels is how I attract them. I've always got a Reel going viral, always. Right now, there's a funny one going viral right now. Always a Reel going viral. Why? Because I keep posting them. You can't not win when you keep showing up. That draws the people into me. Then they decide, based on the other content in the stories, if they want to stay and hang out. Post or how they see my heart. That's where I story tell. And I wasn't a great storyteller when I started. I became a great storyteller by doing it. And so I share stories about me over and over and over again and who I was and how I got here. Because they need to hear that all the time because I'm always attracting new faces to my world. And then I share the stories of other people and what they've been through and how they got to where they are right now. And then I show up in the comments to show them love. Some of you want to take and take and take from social and never give back. And I get it. I do. We're all busy. But you've got to go and be social and leave genuine, thoughtful, heartfelt conversations in the comments section and you will stand out. How many of you will make a post? You'll get 200 likes and 4 comments. You know who the 4 people are that commented. You know them by name because you see it. Go be one of those people for other people. You want to make your environment, your social media, whether it's your Facebook, your TikTok, your YouTube, your Instagram, like a living room. When people come over, do they want to hang out and stay? People don't mind if you sell them something, if you give them value outside of what you sell. Sometimes that value is me being ridiculously funny. Sometimes that value is me sharing hard truths with people. We call that tough love, Tina. Sometimes it's me sharing those babies, those grandbabies. They're invested, they're following the journey. And then lastly, I got stuck in my business in January of 2023, or I felt stuck. We're never really stuck, we're just not doing something, right? And so I went to a mentor of mine and I said, I just don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm doing everything. How many of you said that? Raise your hand, put a 1 in the chat. I'm doing everything. And she said, Tina, you are so incredible at social media. And what you've built is so amazing. But you still need that personal touch with people. And so I started these things called welcome calls with every new person that came in my organization. And you guys, I run a big organization. And I didn't care how much time it took because this woman's made over 8 figures. Tell me what to do and I'll go do it. So I started those welcome calls. And all it was me getting one-on-one with a Zoom or one of my leaders. I taught my leaders to do it. I don't do them all myself, right? That's not duplication. One-on-one. And I would say, listen, why did you join me? Why did you join me? What made you want to do network marketing? And do you want to know some of the answers I got? I don't want to ask my husband for haircut money anymore. I just want to put my daughter in dance. When I built that personal connection with them and found out why they really bought that package, my business grew from January of that year to August of that year by 10 times with nothing special going on other than the activity of making people feel seen and feel heard. You guys, I am so out of time right now, but I am so incredibly honored. I am so incredibly humbled to be here today. Thank you, Eric and Marina Worry, for trusting me with your stage. I hope that you got value today from it. Love you guys.
Tina Joy Carroll, everybody. Come here, you. Give her a round of applause. Proud of her.